Let's waste no time getting back to it. I'm on a journey to make $100,000 doing weird things on the internet for the second time, since I blew past that goal once already and want to start over just for fun. In the last episode, I finished at $80 cash, $24 in free cash coins, and an insulated bag from the AARP. I need to scale quickly to at least a few $100s by the end of this episode. If you guys like what you see, join my free Discord and we can achieve some bag together. Let's get to it. One of the best ways to turn small piles of money into bigger piles of money is to rip off different platforms and take their new user bonuses. Last episode, I tried looking for a broker that would toss me some free bonus money, but I had no luck. They either wanted much larger deposits than I could afford, charged weird fees, or they wanted me to lock up my money for over a year. This simply would not do. But exploring these apps and websites meant I started getting gambling and investing ads out the wazoo. And the sports betting app Novig is ripe for the taking. This app does a $5 for 50 gambling chips promo for new users, and they give you $5 more for signing up. So effectively, $5 for 55 in chips. This creates the potential for $50 in gains. The catch is that you have to play through all 55 chips called sweeps coins before you can withdraw. You can't just drop in $5 and cash out the 55. So I went for it and dropped in $5 for my 55 bonus, which left me with $75 in my coffers. To wash this bonus, I could just lay down a pile of tiny bets, take what wins, and walk out. But I want to try another approach that involves arbitrage so I can cash this out in one bet. By betting on opposite sides on different sports books, I'll win on one side and lose on the other. Either way, one book is going to see me as an imbecile and hopefully entice me with free bets or bonuses to try again. That will make more opportunity for me to squeeze these sports books for some juice. I already have prize picks from the last episode, but that only allows parlays, so that's not going to work. To perform arbitrage, I need a regular sportsbook on the other side of Novig, so I downloaded Fanatics Sportsbook and put $50 of bankroll into it, which left me with $25. Novig had remarkably good odds, like surprisingly good, but they appeared to only offer one game playing today, which was the Yankees versus Nationals. I put my entire $55 on a spread of Yankees minus 1.5. The payout will be $99.63 if it hits. Against my $5 wager, this could be a $95 game, which would be really nice. But it would also be a wasted opportunity if the Nationals win by 2 or more. So I need to make the opposing wager on Fanatics to make sure I don't get cooked. I took the opposite wager, which is the Nationals plus 1.5, and put down $48. This will pay out about $101 if it hits. No matter which way this wager goes, I'll take a solid win. If the Yankees win by 2 or more, I'll win on the Novig side, banking a $99 payout. Versus the $48 I'd lose on Fanatics and the $5 buy-in on Novig, I'd make a $46 profit. If the Yankees win by 1 or the Nationals win outright, I'll win on the Fanatics side and win $101. Versus the $5 buy-in on Novig and $48 wager on Fanatics, that will give me a $48 gain. So either way, that's a lock. I'll make either $46 or $48. Personally, I hope the Novig side wins so that Fanatics, which is a normal sportsbook, thinks I'm an idiot gambler and entices me with some bonuses to come back. That way, I can repeat this process. This is a technique I'm calling bonus-enabled sports betting arbitrage, or manufactured arbitrage. I'm still working on the name. If you do the classic sports betting arbitrage, in which you bet on both sides when the sportsbooks made an error when setting their odds, this will guarantee returns without using bonuses. But you need expensive software to screen for such odds errors. The books will also start limiting your wager sizes, which kills future arbitrage. With the manufactured bonus-enabled arbitrage, you're not taking advantage of error lines, so you won't get clipped on the books. For right now, I'm cool with just washing the bonuses and juicing this as long as possible until I can scale to something else later. We'll see which side wins tomorrow, but this is a gain no matter which way it goes. I can chill tonight knowing that I'll have about $47 bagged. Upon waking up, I immediately checked Fanatics and Novig and saw that the Yankees dominated with a win by 9. So my $5 bet with $55 of bonus has resolved to over $99, and Fanatics thinks I'm an idiot gambler for losing on that side. So that's a $46 net gain after everything is accounted for. My bankroll is now at $150.63 in cash. To get me back in the game so I can lose more money, Fanatics gave me a series of odds boosts across different NCAA football games that I can use this week. These are not free bets or extra chips like Novig gave me, but rather 25% profit boosts, so they'll basically give me 25% more favorable odds when I wager. This will give me a tiny edge when I do my manufactured arbitrage again. This would be amazing if I could drop large amounts of money and take a small gain. I'd put in $1,000 on either side of a game and walk out with $100 and be happy. But these boosts only allow a max wager of $10. So to achieve arbitrage, I opened DraftKings and FanDuel to place opposing wagers. Both of those books gave me some bonuses too, so I was able to put my whole bankroll on the line with only one wager guaranteeing more than $1 in gains. Across all the games, I'll make about $3 or $4 tonight. But the goal here is not to gain money directly. It's to look like an imbecile on the losing book so that they can entice me with more and better offers. These wagers took up almost my entire bankroll, but all of these games except one take place tomorrow night. That means I'll have this cash locked in by Saturday morning. And hopefully, the books where I lose will think I'm bad at sports gambling and offer me more boosted offers that allow me more space for gains than a small $10 max bet. The open sports wagers drained my entire bankroll to basically nothing while I wait for these games to finish. That leaves me back at no bankroll today, and that means the only useful thing I can do is burn through this digger game on free cash. This was the game that I started last week in which you get paid to reach further levels. It is kind of a fun game on its own, but there are just too many ads. The whole game is an ad farm. At first it was easy, I just put my phone down while the ads played and then I did some other activities. But eventually I couldn't take it anymore and spent my last $10 on a no ads pack. That helped me reach this $8 advanced milestone for a total revenue throughout the game of $12. Against $10 of spend, that's a $2 gain. I also did level up in that pop slots game a little bit where I earned about $16 against a spend of $9, so that's $7 gained. Adding in what I earned last week, my balance at free cash reached $66. But remember that it took $15 to join the AARP, and I spent $19 on those games. So that's really only $32 of gains, which is okay. But remember, when you cash out to stake.us, you get a 30% bonus on your whole withdrawal. So that $66 withdrawal became almost $88, making my gain $52, which is a little better. I cashed out my total withdrawal to my bank, which puts me at $56 cash and about $150 worth of open bets that will resolve tomorrow. All the sports bets with manufactured arbitrage resolved as expected, the total gain from which was $4, and my bankroll was once again in cash. This $4 of gains is obviously nothing to celebrate, but I've got several books thinking I'm a really dumb gambler now. And as a result, Fanatics brought me into their invite-only VIP program and offered me $2,500 in bonus bets if I deposit $10,000. This new Freeloader Challenge account does not have $10,000, but I do. So I am just going to quietly remove Fanatics from the Freeloader Challenge, wash that $2,500 of bonus bets against another book, and keep the money for myself. The Freeloader Challenge will move on without Fanatics for now. There are a handful of off-brand sports books that I can exploit. I downloaded a handful and first went after Rebet. This is just some Walmart brand sportsbook that gives you horrible odds compared to actual sportsbooks like DraftKings, and they will try to make up for it with some social features that I don't really care about. But they did hit me with a deposit $100, get $100 of chips, plus a $100 free bet deal. So effectively an edge of a $100 free bet. Of course I took it. When it comes to free bets, most sites don't give you the wager back if you win. So if you bet your $100 free wager on a strong favorite, you might only come back with only $10 of actual cash from the winnings. So to wash these free bets, the best approach is usually to put the wager down on a long shot, like plus 400 odds, and then you'll hedge it with a very large bet on another sportsbook. With Rebet, you're not going to get good odds. The book deliberately gives you bad returns. But a decent example is this plus 500 bet on the Miami Dolphins. This plus 500 means a regular $100 bet would win $500, plus your wager back for $600 of total return. But with a free bet, you don't get your wager back, so it would just return $500. And then on FanDuel, bet $450 on the Bills. If the Bills win, which is more likely, you'll get a $64 gain, so a 64% return on your free bet. If the Dolphins win, you'd get a $50 gain. That's not great, but that's realistic for a place like Rebet. I have half a mind to do this, but my current season of the Freeloader Challenge does not have $450 to place on FanDuel. And I want to stay true to my own rules for the challenge, so I opted instead for a pretty pitiful wager on the Guardians versus Tigers. I'll either make $36 or $42 depending on who wins, so a mere 36 to 42% on my free bet. That's a pretty ugly wash, but that's the reality of low bankroll free bet hedging on off-brand platforms. It's pretty much unavoidable. And already I'm wondering if I should have just thrown this on the Dolphins and prayed for a $500 payout. But nonetheless, it's done now. I still had $100 of regular chips on rebet, so I used manufacturer arbitrage to schedule a couple of dollars in guaranteed gains. But the real goal is just to get the money out of rebet after locking in that free bet bonus. So with all that locked in, my total at the end of day 8 is $60 cash, $103 of manufacturer arbitrage scheduled, somewhere between $38 and $44 of bonus washing coming down the pipeline, and 1 insulated bag from the AARP. One thing I anticipate is that people will say, Mikey, you can't just say you're not going to do counter gambling and then just do counter gambling with sports. I respectfully disagree. I think these are very different activities, but I also get it. You want to see something novel here. So in the next episode, I'm going to get a free electric scooter, use it to dumpster dive for scrap metal, and then sell the electric scooter. And I know that's what I'll do in the next episode because I already started. I just haven't recorded it yet. After 2 episodes, I'm at about $205 plus or minus a little bit depending on what that rebet wager does. I need to pick up the pace. And when I light it back up tomorrow, I'm gonna ramp it up because these $100 weeks are just not cutting it. Anyway, thank you guys for watching and I hope to see you all on Discord.